Hello everyone and welcome. I hope you all are doing well. Today's project is going to be an adjustable dog collar. I did theme it for Valentine's Day. So for this collar I am going to be using a Thane Adapter. If you are not familiar with an adapter, I'll leave a link below. I'll show you guys how you can make your own and where you can get your supplies. I do recommend Thane over leather. Leather looks great, but Thane is very strong, waterproof, very easy to clean, and it comes, my favorite is it comes in so many different colors to match up to any project that I've done. So I do recommend Thane, and I will leave that link down below for you guys. The other supplies that we're going to need is I have my double cow's hitch already hooked up with Imperial Red rose pink hex cord. If you are not familiar with how to do the double cow's hitch, I'll leave another link below. I'll show you guys how you can hook it up to the square rings, as well as if you choose to use a quick release buckle. And if you're not familiar with how to hook it up to your jig, I do show you how to do that as well. So again, I'm using 550 Imperial Red rose pink hex cord, and the other cords that I'm going to be using today are, I'm using a 550 in Imperial Red, 550 in bubblegum, 550 in rose pink, and then 550 in shiny pink, and that is not the name of it, but I will have the name for you on the screen. I can't remember what it was called. So it's definitely a shinier cord. And it feels nice in your hands too. But all of these cords are 550 paracord. So before we start feeding our cords through our double cow's hitch, what I'd like to mention is that I have started a Patreon page to help support this channel, because I really don't want to be monetized and add commercials to my videos. I think it's going to be disruptive and could be quite frustrating for some people. I really don't want to go that route, so I've decided to make a Patreon page to help support this channel. And with my Patreon page, I will have a new video or an original video, and what I mean by that is I've never made it, and it'll be something brand new on these videos. So I'll have a new video come out on the 10th of every month. In my videos, I'm going to show you guys how to do the collar step by step through the whole thing. I'll show you guys how to measure, how to do the double cow's hitch, how to hook all that stuff up, how to do the weave, how to do the tie off. So I'm going to go over everything from the very beginning of when you're going to cut your cord and measure, and how to do that all the way through. The only thing that I'm not going to show you guys how to do on my videos, and I will refer you to a video, is how to do the adapter. I'm not going to include that in my videos. I'm just going to do what I do here and just refer you to a video that I've already made for that. So these videos are quite long because I go over all the steps, especially with the measuring part of your cord. I do have them time-stamped, so you can skip ahead if you want, go back if you want. It might hopefully make that a little bit easier for you guys. And if you want to check it out, I will have a link below for you guys. I'm also using a different camera for my Patreon page, and it's more on top of my work that I'm doing, and it is brighter. I'm only using that camera with my Patreon page because, first of all, I go through a lot more steps, and second, I want to be able to offer something a little bit more than what I'm doing here on my Patreon page. So again, the videos are quite long because of all the steps, but they are time stamped, and if you want to check it out, I will leave my link below. I do plan on making trailers for each video to play, I want to say 10 days in advance. and they'll come up on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, I will leave a link below for you guys. I do appreciate all the support that I get now with everybody that has subscribed, that watches my channel. I do appreciate that. And I'm just hoping with time, I will be able to generate some support for this channel. So let's get back to our collar. Alright, so the first cord that we're going to be adding is going to be our rose pink. And I am using a paracord needle. If you don't have one, it's quite alright. You can loosen up your cow's hitches, melt the top of your cord, and you will be able to feed it through those cow's hitches that way. If you are looking into buying a paracord needle, I do highly suggest getting one from Paracord Galaxy or Paracord EU. I got a package of different sizes from Amazon, and then I bought, it was a while back that I had actually bought some from Amazon, like way in the beginning of my hobby, and both of them, both sets, did not screw on to the paracord. They were a little bit heavier, so I don't know if that made a difference. I'm not really sure why, because I could see the threading on the inside of the needle, but they do not work. And there's no point on having a needle if it doesn't work. So I do recommend, if you're in the States, Paracord Galaxy would probably be your best bet. I've bought plenty of needles from them and I've never had a problem. Paracord EU is also another great place if you're going to be ordering from them. But Paracord EU, the shipping and stuff is a little bit higher because they're not in the United States. So if you're not in the United States, I do recommend them. But yeah, I would not recommend buying these on Amazon. I have not had a set that worked. So they're not super expensive, but it's kind of disappointing when you buy a set of like all different kinds to fit all different cords and none of them work. So that's my 2 cents on that. So what we're going to do here with the rose pink is you want to go right through your 2 cow stitches just like that. You want to pull it to the other side, and you want to bring the middle to the top of your work. The next cord that we're going to add is going to be our bubble gum. And we are going to do the same thing that we just did with the rose pink. We're going to go right through those 2 cow's hitches, bring it to the other side, and bring the middle to the top of our work. The next cord that we're going to add is going to be our shiny cord. And it really does feel super nice in your hands. Okay, so what we're going to do with this shiny cord is we're going to go in between this first cow's hitch, go to the left, and come up the second cow's hitch. So you're just going to be going under these 2 stitches and bringing that to the other side, and bring the middle to the top of your work. And the last cord is going to be our Imperial Red. And what you're going to do is you're going to just do exactly what you did with the shiny cord. You're just going to go underneath those 2 stitches, bring it to the other side, and bring the middle to the top of your work. And this is where you can tighten everything up. Alright, once you have everything nice and tight, at the top I do suggest double checking your measurements to make sure that they are correct. And you can roll up your ends if you'd like. I rolled up all of my ends except for the red cord, and that's because I lost my container with my rubber bands in it. I don't know what I did with it. So I didn't have enough. And that's fine. I'll manage. So to start this project off, you're going to start off on your right side. You want to go underneath your first cord, which is on your right, right up the center and over that second cord that is on your left. So take your right hex cord, go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Next, you're going to take your hex cord on the left and go underneath the cord that you just worked. You're going to go underneath your first cord now that is on your left side, right up the middle, and then over your cord that is on your right side. So take your hex on your left, go underneath the cord, right up the middle, and then over. You have like a little triangle if you pull on those loops. The next cord we're going to work is going to be the rose pink. And what you're going to do with that cord is you're going to go underneath all of your work, come right up the middle, and then you're going to go down this loop that you just made on your right side. So take your rose pink on your right side, go underneath, right up the middle, and then you have your loop right here, go down this loop. Next, you're going to take the rose pink on your left, you're going to go underneath your work, right up the middle, and then down this loop that you made on the left. So take your rose pink on your left, go underneath, right up the middle, and then down this loop on the left. The next cord that we're going to work is going to be our bubblegum cord. You're going to find those two horizontal pieces in the middle. You're going to pick up on them a little bit. You're going to take your bubble gum on your right side. You're going to go around those two horizontal pieces and then out your right. So go over those two horizontal pieces, around them, and out your right. Take the one on the left. You're going to go over and around and out the left. So over, around, and out the left. The next cord that you're going to work is your shiny cord. And what you're going to do here, you're going to do those same steps. You're going to go over and around and out the right with the shiny cord on the right side. So go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left now. You're going to go over and around and out the left. So go over, around, and out the left. So for the red cord, we are going to just repeat those steps. Take the one on the right, go over and around those two horizontal cords and come out the right. Take the one on the left now and go over and around and out the left. And then tighten it up. Once you have it tightened up, we're going to start that weave all over again. So you're going to start on your right with your hex cord. You're going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Underneath that first cord, right up the middle, and then over. Take the one on the left now, and go underneath the cord that you worked. And you're going to go underneath the first cord, now that's on the left, come right up the middle, and then over that second cord. What we're going to do next is we're going to take our rose pink, and we're going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then come down this loop on the right. So take your rose pink on the right, go underneath, right up the middle, then down that loop. Take the one on the left now, you're going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then down this loop again. So go underneath, right up the middle, and then down the loop on your left. Now you're going to find those two horizontal pieces in the middle, pick up on those a little bit. Take your bubble gum now, and you're going to go over and around and out the right. So take the bubble gum on the right, go over and around, out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Over and around and out the left. Now you're going to take your shiny cord and you're going to do the same steps. So take the one on the right, you're going to go over those two horizontal pieces, around and out to the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. And now you take your red cords, and again, same steps. Take your red on your right, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left, and then you can tighten it up. Once you have it tightened up, you're just going to start from the beginning again. So take your hex on your right, you're going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Take the one on the left, go underneath the cord that you just worked. Underneath that first cord, right up the middle, and then over. Take your rose pink on your right, you're going to go underneath your work, right up the middle, and then down that loop. Take the one on the left, go underneath, right up the middle, down that loop. Now you're going to take your bubble gum. First you're going to find those two horizontal pieces and pick up on them. Take your bubble gum on your right side, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, over, around, and out the left. Take your shiny cord, repeat those steps. So you're going to go over with the right, around, and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Now, again, repeat those steps with the red. Take the one on the right, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, over and around, out the left, and then tighten it up. Alright, so I went a few more weaves down so you can see a bigger portion done, and this is what it's starting to look like. So I'm going to continue the same weave all the way down the collar. When I get to the end, I'll show you guys how I do the tie off and what it looks like with the adapter attached. Okay, so I'm at the end of my collar. I took it off the jig, and now we can weave in these top cords. The cords that you're going to be weaving in are the bubble gum, the shiny, and the red. So I'm going to start with my bubble gum, and I am using a paracord needle to help me along. So you have a gap between your work and your two cows hitches. You're going to want to go in that gap with both bubble gum and both shiny cords. After you've gotten those 4 cords through that gap, we can work on the red. So you have a small hole in between your two cows hitches, and that's where you're going to want to go in with your red. So you're going to just go in that hole with both of the reds, and like I said, it's in between the two cows hitches. Okay, once you have all that taken care of, now we can cut and melt this cords. So I'm going to start off on my side, and I'm going to go about 1/2 inch up from the collar. I'm going to fray them out. I'm going to melt them, and I'm going to squish them down. I'm using a knotter's tool, but you can use a butter knife. If you have metal scissors, you can also squish it down with that as well. You're going to melt it, and you want to get it nice and hot, but try not to let it catch on fire. It does happen. And you're going to squish that down. And I'll do the next one. And I'm going to squish that down as well. And now you can do the same on the opposite side. Once you have the two sides taken care of, we can start on the middle cords. What I like to do is start all the way on my left, because then I can hold these out of my way as I melt the cord. I do one at a time. I cut it same length, maybe a tad shorter. I fray it out. And I'm going to melt it, and then I will squish it down. And what I'm going to do is I'll do the next cord that's in line, which is my shiny cord. And then what I'll do after that shiny cord is I'll go to the next shiny cord, and then I will do the bubble gum. And then I'll do one at a time with the red. So I'm going to do them all one at a time, the same way I did the first one. Okay, so once you have that taken care of, if you would like, you can hook up your adapter and put it on your dog and be on your way. But for me, I like to put a little bit of Gorilla Glue on the ends that I just melted to give it a little bit of extra security. So I use clear non-foaming Gorilla Glue, and a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. It is waterproof, so you just need a couple of dabs, and then you could smear it around with your finger on all the ends that you just melted. And then you're just going to let this dry, and then once it's dry, you'll hook up your adapter.